Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the NJ Show. I hope everybody's doing well. I think everybody. Are we live? Somebody let me know that we're live. Let's start this all over again. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the NJ Show. Day 2, back in the midst of my lovely, lovely community right here. I hope everybody's doing well. Lots and lots of stuff to discuss today. I'm going to need some time from you guys today. It's not just going to be charts, okay? And the reason for that is because we need to have a discussion. This discussion today is going to be a little bit more centered around the macro of crypto. Okay, because crypto in itself is a very small part of a very big picture. Now, for us in our day to day lives, crypto is everything. For me, crypto is my whole life. I should probably wear Bitcoin t shirts and have Bitcoin plastered across my walls. And it's the same for you guys as well, and girls, and everything in between. I can't keep doing this every day. But, at the same time, for us to understand crypto, for us to understand when to go long for the longer term and when to pull back for the longer term, we need to understand what we're going to discuss today. So today we're going to discuss the dollar. All right. We're going to discuss the debt ceiling because I know that you guys have seen that across Twitter and Telegram, and you may have seen it in articles. Some of you understand it, some of you don't. But we're going to touch on it today just so that you can get some clear understanding of it. Okay. At least enough to give you some support when you're having conversations. Maybe you're trying to explain it to someone, maybe you're trying to learn it for yourself, but it will be important to help you understand as well why we went short, why we should stay short, you know? Anyway, let's kick it off. All right, let's kick it off. I hope everybody's doing well. Let's do a quick shout out. Then go on. Let's do a quick shout out. You've got like a minute to get your comments in to let me know where you're tuning in from, and I'll shout you out. All right, go on, go for it. We're going to start with August. August, it's great to see you, my friend. Mod in the chat, so show love and respect to the mods. AC says salam. AC is more consistent than me, man. Walaikum salam, bro. Hope you're doing good. Timothy, good to see you. I do remember you from yesterday, Timothy. I know you had some great questions, Timothy. We're going to cover some of those answers today. If I do miss anything, I would suggest that you guys just drop a quick comment in the chat and let me know. Be like, NJ, what does this mean? Or NJ, what is that? X, Y, and Z. If I can answer it, I will, I promise. Crypto Bedouin. Hey, crypto. What's your favorite film? Passion of the Christ? Book of Eli? What are you saying, Crypto Bedouin? Good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. Phil the Flying Frenchman. Great to see you, my bro. Wouldn't be a stream without you. Lily, my love. Good to see you. Great to see you, sis. Chris, interesting comment. Decent long from 27,700 to 28K. Yes. That's a good topic to discuss, you know. We're actually going to be touching on why I don't go long. We're going to be talking about liquidity today, and we're going to be talking about why liquidity has gotten so thin in crypto from a higher time frame perspective, and why we're seeing all these flat bodies, and why I'm not going long, and why I'm more convicted, why I have more conviction in shorts than I do in long. But we'll talk. Non-fungible Tony says hello Tony. Hafuel, my other number one. Show some love to Hafuel. All the mods, show love to all the mods. Mike, good to see you, Mike. Everyone wants to be like Mike. August, Nicholas Giroux, good to see you, my bro. I actually saw your comment yesterday. I was in the middle of talking and I didn't get a chance to say hello to you. It was such a compact episode yesterday. I think I missed a few people along yourself, but thank you for tuning in, Nicholas. It's good to see you. Really good to see you. And we got Spa saying, what's up, NJ? We've got, I can't pronounce the name, but it's just great to see you as well, mate. Thank you very much. KAR Crypto, good to see you, my bro. Good to see you. Yesterday, for those of you who tune into yesterday's episode, I was talking about the class of 2024, class of 2025. This brother is one of them that's going to be in that class too. So check him out. He's worth checking out. John G. What's John G saying? Glad you're back. We have missed you. Not as much as I've missed you, my brother. Good to see you. Let me do a few more comments, everyone, and then we're going to kick the show off. So get cozy. We've got an hour. I'm not going to run away. We've got a lot to talk about, so I need you guys to be coffeeed up. Make sure you got your caffeine. Make sure you got your vape. Make sure you've got your water. A lot to talk about today. All right. Spiros Says from Amsterdam here, brother. Love the Dutch community. The Dutch community, biggest in crypto, in my opinion. I think they're the alphas when it comes to crypto. The Pakis and the Jews are hard when it comes to crypto, but just from what I've seen, the Dutch, they smash crypto the most. George P says, welcome back from Greece, buddy. Love it, love it. Never been to Greece. Looks amazing. One day, inshallah, I'll get to go. Nice to see you here, George. And have we got anybody else? Robert Downey Jr., Robert Kirby Jr. Robert Kirby Jr. says, yo, tuning in from Ohio. Thanks for the streams. Nothing beats a trio of XO, SC, and NJ. Oh, mate, thank you. Thank you. That's very lovely to hear. I appreciate that. I'm not the level of those guys, but I do appreciate it. Anything I can do to back you lot, I'll do it. And you lot back me by joining the streams and showing love. I'll do the same thing. One or two more comments, and then we'll do it. I want to try and shout out as many as I can. Any comments from OP? Unlock, how will the price react? Not good. We'll talk about it more today. You'll have a clearer understanding of the entirety of crypto later on. We've got David Cook saying howdy. Good to see you, mate. Eddie. We've got MM. I recognize you, MM. MM, good to see you. We've got THM. Some interesting names, man. Hey, NJ. Great. New here. Great stream yesterday. Thank you very much. Kalayan. Good to see you, my brother. Hello to everyone. Let's not forget to smash the like button. Hand pink waving. Exactly what Kalayan said. Hand pink waving. Make sure you do smash a like on the video, but you don't have to straight away. If you want, wait until you learn something. And then you know what? I'm actually learning something from NJ right now. This is actually helping me. Go on, I'll smash a like because it's worth it. You know, if you can, it will be great. If you can subscribe to the channel if you haven't already as well, that would be great. Oh man, there's so many people. There's only a few left. Let me just do this. We've got Fatih. Good to see you, my brother. It's great to see you. We've got Shabs. We've got Anubis. For anybody who worships them, Egypt man, Anubis. We've got Zonks, and we've got Abdul. We've got Serhat. We've got Bantagal. We've got Viraj, and then we've got my uncle who's here. Like, hey uncle, salam mamu. Hope you're doing well. Now, no, there's not going to be no swearing. There's not going to be no this, no that. Okay, Eric saying let's just start it. I'm not going to boot you for that, Eric, but I'm saying hello to everyone. But let's go. Let's start. Eric is making a good point. Okay, so the first things first is, let me share my screen. First thing is first, we're going to look at the market. There's a reason I'm doing all of this, so bear with me, okay? Pay attention to this stream. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at what the market is saying. Notice how everything is green. Everything looks good. All across my Twitter, I'm seeing bullish flags and I'm seeing price action upwards, long this altcoin, long that altcoin. And if we look at the top 20 alone, we're actually seeing there's a lot of green across the board. Okay? So why aren't we going long? Because if you go across my Telegram, you'll see I shorted here, I shorted there, I trimmed 30% off the short yesterday, but I told everyone we're going to add that back on. I still have the intention to add that back on. All right? That is counterintuitive against the market. All right? So why? Let's move over to the chart. The chart that we're looking at right now is the dollar. Okay? It's not Bitcoin. It's not Ethereum. We are going to get there. Now, when we're looking at the dollar, I'm looking at the 4-hour time frame. I'm very zoomed in at the moment. There's not really much to say here. To me, the dollar's looking bullish. I'm pretty confident that everybody else in the chat has a fair understanding of price action to the degree where you can see that this is pretty bullish. But we need to zoom out to get a clearer idea. Okay? Now, in the current context of the environment that we're in, this is the first note that you guys need to take for everybody that's here. The first key point of the stream is the dollar is the most powerful currency in the world. It's so important that you guys understand that before I just waffle on for the next 50 minutes. Okay? Everyone in the chat needs to understand that the most powerful currency in the entire world is the dollar. It's not the Chinese yuan. It's not some token from Korea. It's not the euro. It's not the pound. It's not the Saudi Arabian rial. It's the United States dollar. You don't need to know anything further than that. You just need to know that it's the most powerful currency in the entire world. Now, take it from a college perspective. You've got the fittest girl in the school. Everyone's always going to be talking to her. Everybody's always going to be looking at her. Even the nerds that can't speak to her, they're going to be looking at her. All eyes on the dollar. It's so important that you guys understand that going into the rest of the episode, because it will impact everything that we say. All right. That's why I've started with the dollar today before we even discuss the trades that we're in. Okay. Now, if I start zooming out on the dollar, we've got a very different chart now. All right. And I'm going to even zoom out further and I'm going to show you the daily time frame. And for those of you who follow NJ, for those of you who have been following the stream for a while, I'm seeing all the comments, by the way. Keep them coming in. I like that you guys are engaging amongst yourselves. For those of you who have been following my charts for a while, you guys will know that I've had this dollar chart for a long time now. I've been looking at this particular channel and I've seen that this channel begins 2006 and we are now in 2023. Life was a lot different 20 years ago, well, 17 years ago. Where are we now in the dollar? For everybody saying the dollar is going to crash. Okay, the dollar is going to crash. I've seen influencers say the dollar is going to zero, the dollar is going to crash, the dollar is going to collapse. I know you've all seen this to some degree. Okay, now before we continue having those discussions, I'm just asking you, NJ to friend, any one of you in the chat, if the dollar was to go to zero, or just imagine yourself, let's say yourself, right, as a person, if you were going to go bankrupt, would it happen overnight? Let's say, for example, you have 3K a month coming into your account every month. For you, but your bills are $3,100 every month. Would you go to zero or bankruptcy overnight? The answer is no. Okay? Similarly, with the dollar, no matter how bearish the news may be, no matter how much inflation may increase, no matter how many dollars there are circulating in the market, this thing is not going to go to zero tomorrow. And in fact, even if it was to go to zero, can you imagine what that would mean across the entire world? Because as you know, we started the episode with the dollar is the strongest currency in the world. And again, I don't mean to patronize anyone in the chat. This is a learning thingamabob that I'm giving you here. I want your mentality and your mindset to be glued into the right thing so that we don't talk about altcoins and meme coins, not straight away. There's a time and a place. First, show me that you're understanding what's going on around you. Then let's talk about meme coins because I know you can protect yourself. Otherwise, I can't have that convo with you. You know what I mean? So when we're looking at the dollar here, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a range high up here. I know some of you were complaining about my cursor yesterday. Is there a way I can fix that? I'm hoping everybody can see it. I only got 1 or 2 complaints, so please let me know if you've got any suggestions. I don't want to change the screen black. I don't like it black. So I'm seeing a range high here at the top. I'm seeing a range low here at the bottom, and I'm seeing a mid-range in the middle. This channel that I've got marked out here is just a straight channel where we've been ranging for a while. We ranged during our bull markets here, so I've marked that out as well. And now if we zoom in a little bit more, having said that, we can see our deviations here, by the way. Okay, deviations at the top, deviations at the bottom. We zoom in now. Now, all of you are students of price. All of you have charted, all of you have your charts. I'd like you to answer me this question now. Are we actually bearish on the dollar? People are doing this and they're saying, yeah, look, man, lower high, lower high, lower high. Every time I'm seeing lower high, dollar is going to collapse. It's going to zero. It is finished. It is not coming back. It is finished. But really and truly, my bro, if we've just broken above the mid-range when everybody thought that the dollar was going to zero, what do you think happens next? Let's continue the conversation. Anyway, to give you the answer real quick, I'm expecting this for the dollar. Boom, boom. I'm expecting that. For those of you who kind of know about correlations and what that happening to the dollar means for the stocks and Bitcoin, I'll give you the clue. The clue that you want to Google is the words risk off. What does risk off mean? Hey, Google, can you tell me what risk on and risk off means? Go and do that after the stream. You're going to come back a lot smarter on Thursday when I stream. I've got to get my hair cut tomorrow, so I'm going to stream on Thursday. Okay, that's what I'm expecting for the dollar. Now let's move away from the dollar. let's go to Bitcoin because we need to talk about Bitcoin. I know a lot of you took that short with me yesterday, although I always say this is not financial advice. So anyway, I'm just joking. So when we're going to Bitcoin, for those of you who watched the stream yesterday, I gave you a detailed breakdown as to why we went short. Okay, so I'm not going to do that again. The episode is there for everybody. The recording is there. I'm not stopping you from going to watch that. Um, now, I don't just want to throw trend lines in to fit my narrative. I don't want to just do something like this because it looks a bit newbie. But what I will say is, it looks bullish right now. It does. But it always looks bullish when we're at the range high. The top is always going to look sexy, isn't it? It's always going to look amazing. You've got to short where you've got conviction. Now, we've just had a look at the dollar. We know that the dollar can give us a little pullback, and that little pullback can potentially take us to 28K. I see it. I agree with you. I can see a case to be built up for here. I know people are talking about order blocks and deviations. I can see that everybody wants this to happen. I can see that everybody wants that to happen. I don't think it is. And even if it does happen, I'd like to not take the risk. I'd like to be on board. So even right now, we're not risking 1R on our ETH trade. Yesterday on the Telegram, I said, wherever Bitcoin is at 27,500, trim 30% off of your Ethereum short. Okay. Now, I didn't catch 27,500 exactly. I think I got 27,574 or something like that. I was in the bathroom in it, but obviously when we look at Bitcoin now, let's see what it did. Where did we wick to exactly? Hey Scarlett, good to see you, love, and good to see you, Viraj. Good to see you, everyone. Good to see so many comments. Nachiket, good to see you, Nachiket. So Bitcoin went to 27,523. That's where Bitcoin went to. I know you can't see it, but that was the low. And I think I managed to trim some off at around 27,524. Now, this is the thing. If we're looking at this chart and you're saying, NJ, we're so bullish right now, bro. Why are you feeling uncomfortable? Why are you feeling like this? Well, the reason I'm feeling that is because I actually want to I want to risk 1R. I want to get more short. So what I'm doing now is I'm watching this high here on Bitcoin. 28.4K. That is the quarterly open. Yesterday, I'm not sure who it was yesterday, but somebody said yesterday that 28.4K was the quarterly open. Of course, we know that. We've got that marked out on our chart here. The green line that you see right here, that is the quarterly open for Bitcoin. At the same time, I don't really want us to get above the quarterly open. I don't quite agree with that. If it does do it, we will tackle it, but I don't agree with that. And I think if we get above the quarterly open, we start looking a little bit too bullish. Obviously, if we get above the quarterly open, if we do something like this, right, and we get back below, here, which comes in at 28.4. So if we get back below the quarterly open, as soon as we start doing this, I will reattempt the short. My stop loss still won't be here. It will actually be here. Okay? Which again, it's not really a favorable short, if I'm honest with you. It's not, you're not going to make great money off that. You might make 1-2R off that, but I guess it's something. So what I've done is for me on Ethereum, 1920, 1930 should cap the market. I think 1930 is where I think we should be capped. I gave all my reasons yesterday. I built the story yesterday. I'm very aware that there is a probability of this thing going higher. I can see that we've broken above this range level. I can see that we are pushing upwards. I can see it's looking bullish, but it was looking bullish here as well, wasn't it? It was looking really nice there, wasn't it? I'm sure a lot of people went long here with a little stop loss there. I'm sure people did. And then they got wrecked. It was looking bullish here too. People went long, is what it is. Likewise, over here, it looked really good to go short. The way that we were trending lower overall, it looked really good to go short. People were going short, they got wrecked. Okay, so it is a game of probabilities. I'm aware that we could get this wrong. Just a quick reminder, as I've said, although our stop loss is at 1950, if we do get above 1930 on Ethereum, I'll start looking to scale out. Okay. And that 30%, I am going to add it back at 1920-ish. I'll update you on my Telegram once I do that. This isn't financial advice. So don't go and tell people, oh, NJ's the maddest signal service. Don't do that. You're going to get me arrested or something. Okay. Now, another thing to notice is, from January, I want you guys to have a quick look at something. Okay. You see, look at this formation right here at the bottom on the left hand side of my screen. You see that price curves up. As price starts curving up, we get the big expansive candles. Okay. And then very minimal pullback, we get big expansive candles. Now we finally get a pullback, and it turns out to be a higher low. All right. So you've got a low here after all that dumping. You've got a low. You've got a higher low. Come up here. You've got another higher low. You've got another higher low here in that silly compression that we had for that 2-3 weeks. Then we've got a high. Remember, go back to yesterday's episode. I was talking about why this expansion wasn't good enough for me. I didn't agree with it. I was like, after all of this consolidation, look at this here, guys. Look at this consolidation. Very small, big expansive move. This consolidation, very small, big expansive move. Now we had this big consolidation where everybody's bored, nothing to trade, nothing to do. And then that's the expansion that we get. That's one. Number two is, once we got this dead expansion, I start noticing that we're now making lower highs. Look at this. We've got the high up here. We've got the high down here. We've got the high down here. We've got the high down here. Now, everybody is considering this a break of market structure because we've wicked this area here. But when you put the range into context, I really hope you guys can see this, but when you put the range into context, we haven't wicked this high for liquidity. We've just gone into the range high. We've wicked into the quarterly open. So this high suddenly doesn't have this high here. Let me mark it out for you guys. This high here suddenly doesn't have the precedence that it had before, because just above it is the range high. Just above it is the quarterly open. Just above it is where we'd start flipping bias. Now, if we do get to 28.8K, I'm going to consider it a deviation. But because of the way my system operates, I can't go short at 28.8. It might be the top, but I can't go short at 28.8. I'll have to wait for it to get back below the quarterly open. I would sacrifice, considering we've made like 10R in the last, week or two, I'd sacrifice 1R easily for it to get back below the quarterly open. And then once it gets back below the quarterly open, if that's to happen, I don't think it should. If we did have that scenario, so say for example this, okay, if we did get something like this, then once we get here, we can actually size the crap out of it, because we've got the lower high, and then we'd have the lower high. That would be big for me. And like if we flip the chart, look at this for example, yeah? Hold on, bear with me. Sometimes it's easy to look at things bullish, and sometimes for other people, it's easy to look at things bearish. You see, like, look at this formation here in the middle of my screen, right? If I flip the chart, this is the inverted chart. For some people, it's much easier for them to go long than it is for them to go short. I used to have this problem ages ago, but now I can do both. I can see both depending on the macro. So you see this formation here. You've got the consolidation, you've got the low, you've got the higher low, you've got the higher low, you've got the high, and then like I said, it looks so bullish here, right? Right here, it looks amazing, doesn't it? And then boom. Okay. Similarly, if we go to where the current chart is, if I remove these drawings real quick, I'm kind of getting the same vibe. So you've got the low, you've got the higher low, and now it kind of just looks like it's bullish, but in the reverse. Do you see what I mean? So why I've gone short, why I'm holding my short. Of course, last night I could have said to you guys, do you know what? Maybe we need to reduce risk further and we'll add it higher up. I saw that it was possible to go higher up. However, you can't really time something like this. You see this construction here, and you see how the expansive moves come so quickly. You need some skin in the game. You need some skin in the game if you've got your conviction, because at any point in time, the next candle could be the candle that just comes out and takes out these clean lows right here. Do you see what I mean? It's all a thought process. It's not about nailing the top and nailing the bottom. It's not about how much percent you get on your Bybit. It's not about how much money you made. It's about getting the trade right. Because if you get the trade right, you have now unlocked a skill set that's going to allow you to focus on your next trade, your next trade, your next trade. Suddenly you're buying Apple Watches and buying double two, three phones, and suddenly you're not going to the office no more because you keep doing this, and money just keeps coming in. All right, that's the general thought process. At the same time, I'm very much aware. If we now move over to Ethereum, yeah, I'm very much aware that if we do get above the this gray level right here, if we was to get above this gray level right here, I would look to start scaling out. Why is that? Simply because this range has been beautiful. Honestly, in the Telegram, this is the range that we've been trading. I've not caught every single one of these. I've caught maybe like 4 of these, okay, in this whole range here. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you get paid, it's good, man. It's good, you know? So um, we've got the deviations. We've got one big one here, okay? We've got one big one here. And then we've got the range bound environment. And then look, just from a, how do I explain this? We've got another one here, but have you noticed that this one looks tired? Like this one looks big. Like, yeah, we're gonna get bullish. We're gonna go up, and then the sellers stepping right around here, and it's like, okay, we need to try again. And then when we try again, have you noticed it looks so tired? Like you gave up. Does that make sense? Like when you're looking at a chart, I know I'm bringing emotions into it, but I want you guys and girls and everyone to like get an idea of how to look at charts like this. When you're looking at charts, I don't want you to be throwing loads of colors and loads of Mondays high, Mondays low, this order block here, um, Tuesdays 4 p.m. high, or I see bare charts on Twitter like that, bare Fibonacci's, bare trend lines. Bro, just understand the story and see what's good, and then you can make your chart look ugly. As long as it's working for you and your trades, you'll even be able to help other people trade. So you see here, the word that I'm using is tired. I'm getting that tired vibe from it. Okay. So now, as I said yesterday, I'm getting the trend reversal vibes from this market. And I'm kind of glad that we pumped. Just because if this is the top, then it required conviction to smack this back down. It wasn't just a case of we went short because of this structure, we went short because of this low, we went short because of Joe Biden or Trump or whatever. We went short because our conviction was there. Nothing has changed. And at the same time, if it starts pushing up above 1930, we'll monitor it. If we can scale out, we'll try our best to scale out. Okay. And we will get back into this. There's so many reasons. I've got a few things to talk to you guys about today. I'm going to clean up with the charts. I know a lot of people joined this show specifically for the TA. So I wanted to make sure that we had at least half an hour, 35 minutes ish to get that TA covered so that the rest of you can enjoy your day while the rest of you, we talk about macro and why I want to short even more. Okay. Why I think for the short term, we should be going lower. Going lower doesn't mean I'm bearish, by the way. Yeah, just remember that. I'll remind you guys every episode. Going short doesn't mean we're bearish. Going short means that we're looking for a better buying opportunity. If I was a perma bear, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. I wouldn't have a Telegram channel. I wouldn't be trying to build in crypto. I'd be looking to short it to zero, right? Serhat says, are you already in the BTC short? Yeah. Have a look at the Telegram. I'm in Ethereum. Okay, so if I go to my Telegram very quickly, if I go to my Telegram, bear with me, guys, bear with me. I'll read it out for you, just so that I know a lot of you guys aren't in the Telegram. So what did I say? I said after everyone's getting bullish. All right, cool. So I said, be patient for the next trade. Then I said, guys, I'm short on Ethereum 1906. My stop loss is 1950. My target is unknown for now. Do you see why we waited? A lot of people were going short at 1830, 1840. I said, no, we have to wait. 1830 and 1840 is this area here. And that's, I didn't like the fact that we reclaimed the range. Considering we reclaimed the range doesn't mean that we're bullish. It could be a deviation of that range low, given the macro and whatnot. But I needed to see that for myself. It was dangerous. Whereas with a range high, it's always much easier to go short because, if this thing is going to break to the upside, then it's got a lot of resistance to deal with first. You've got time to really assess the situation and say, look, is resistance going to break? Even if resistance does break and you think to yourself, oh my God, I'm going to get stopped out or I've lost money. The moment it gets back here, we know that this support should hold. Look at all this. Look at all of this. We know that support should hold. Maybe this could be a long up until this high here. It's possible. We'll address that when it comes. But on my Telegram, I said 1906 is where I took the short. I didn't go in big. Adding more at 1920. Stop remains the same, 1950. Then I wrote, if in the next 8 hours we get to 1840, 1850, trim 50% off, put stops at break even. We didn't get to 1850. I think we got to, what was it, 1873. And I think the 30% that I trimmed off was higher than this. I think I trimmed it off at like 1879 or something like that, So I do want to add that 30% back on. That's how I feel. That's where I am in the market. I don't see myself changing or flip-flopping my bias until the market tells me otherwise. I can see right now we're pumping now. But like I said, that 30%, I want to add it at 1920, 1925 if it comes. You see this wick right here coming in at 1934-ish. I can see us wicking that. I can see us wicking it. I just don't see us going much higher. It should be a rejection. So for example, just to clarify before we move on, this wick that we had here, where we added more, right here, I'm expecting a swing fail of that. Not because that's what the market wants to do. I think that the market wants to go higher, right? But because the sellers are so strong, and again, that flat body conversation we had yesterday, it's a bit funny that we've got a flat body here, right here, which we're looking to take out. We discussed that yesterday. And then we're having the exact same thing right here, flat body here. Why doesn't none of these have flat bodies? Why don't none of these have flat bodies? Why? This one has a flat body here as well. To me, it just looks like a setup. It looks like a trap. People are getting so bullish and they're getting so emotionally invested. People are actually fighting each other on Twitter. Like, I'm seeing some really asinine opinions just because they really, really want price to go up emotionally. It doesn't make sense to me, Trading is just trading, right? Like, you're just longing and shorting. Why'd you have to get emotional? Like, who hurt you? So yeah, I'm expecting a swing fail of this. Even if it doesn't swing fail, I'm still going to add some at 1920. I'm still going to add some. I've got a little sell order there as well, to add 15% more, bringing my total up to 85%, so 0.85 R. I'm not comfortable with that. I want to risk the whole R because I have conviction. If we get above, if we start closing above here, above sort of 1980-ish, maybe we need to flip bias. Okay, maybe we need to flip bias. But when I discuss the US debt ceiling in a moment, when I discuss Saudi Arabia in a moment, when I discuss China in a moment, maybe you guys will get a clearer understanding of where I'm going with this. Okay, and I really want to retain the audience here. I know that there's over 100 of you here. I'm super, super grateful. I know a lot of you are going to jump off once we start talking about macro. But look, if you want your trading to get better, if you want to get better at crypto, if you want to make more friends in this game, you've got to up your level. So stick around for this next bit. Just before I move on, is everybody clear on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and not why I've said, but the dollar is the most powerful currency in the world? Those three things. Bitcoin, what we're expecting. Ethereum, what we're expecting, what I've done, where I'm looking to add. I might need to do it on live stream. And the third thing is that the dollar is the most powerful currency in the world. Please, can someone drop a yes or no in the comments? And then we'll move on. If the plan isn't clear, somebody let me know. I'll quickly 1 minute run through it all over again, okay? Also, we've got over 100 people here and we've got 50 likes. The 100 marker is the one that gets us the that algorithm boost. So if you guys just take a quick second, like the video, maybe drop a little comment in the chat so like we can all see it, it would be really good, really, really helpful. Do subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Bottom right hand corner. It seems like all my legends are clear. Okay, so what? Okay, we've got one question here. Trader CL says yes. So what we're expecting on SPX push to 4270, take out the big flip. No, so there's a reason I haven't discussed the SPX. Okay, this is a comment from our good friend Trader CL. There's a reason I haven't discussed the S&P. I've purposely done the stream like this. I started the stream by saying the dollar is the most powerful currency in the world. I've given you my Bitcoin and I've given you my Ethereum. There is a reason why I've not done the SPX, because it will start confusing you guys and we'll start going in traditional markets and the rest of the episode won't make sense. Okay. We are now going to move on. So you guys all are aware of the plans. Bear in mind, this all might unfold in the next half an hour. So even though you're paying attention to the episode, do pay attention to the chart, okay? I can see it here in my tab here. It says 1915. I've got, like I said, I've got my sell order anyway. But if I do see 1920, I'm gonna have a quick little peek to see if we get filled. All right. Now, one thing I want to talk to you guys about today is, at the beginning of the episode, I've repeated it multiple times now, where I've said that the dollar is the most powerful currency in the world. Now, let's do a quick recap. Please, please, please bear with me. Okay. Give me a moment of your time to try and understand this next thing that I'm going to say. Okay. Let me zoom myself out. Right, yo. In 2020, this is going to be quick. Yeah. So oops, seems like one of your streams is having connection issues. Yo, are we good? Okay, we lagged a little bit there. Are we good? I think we should be good. I think we should be good. Anyway, all right, cool. Um, so in 2020, we had the COVID panic. Okay, now the COVID panic, for a majority of people, they believe that it's to do with a virus, it's to do with X, Y, and Z. They look at it from a health perspective. Now, because all of us here are traders, because all of us here love the market, we need to see COVID in a very different light. Okay. When the COVID thing happened, the COVID crisis happened, yes, all the markets tanked. And that was the low for Bitcoin. That was the low for the S&P. That was the low for X, Y, and Z. The dollar started crashing immensely. But why did that happen? We need to be able to summarize that in a way that we can teach it to anybody. It shouldn't, this information and knowledge shouldn't just be for the likes of the smarter people in crypto. This is not nerdy information. This is very common information that you all need to know. Okay. So, breaking it down in the best way that I can explain it, the COVID crisis led to the US and the UK and the rest of the world, well, first world countries, telling everybody to stay at home and not going to work, telling everybody that you need to work from home, telling everybody that you need to not leave your house. Now, what does that mean? That means that at home, we're going to be using more electricity. We're going to be using the internet more at home. We're going to need a setup where we can work from home to and from our companies. And we need money to live, because if, for example, our work fires us for not being at home, we're going to need money to live. So the US and the UK say, all right, we understand all of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this thing called the money printer. We're going to press this button and we're going to use this money to help businesses. I used to work at a company called Bahrain Bank. And one of the biggest issues that we had when COVID hit, the quality is bad. What has happened? I don't know why this has happened. I can't figure out why this has happened. Is anybody else facing a quality issue on my stream? Because I'm noticing it as well, and I can't seem to figure out why. If anybody else has an issue, please just drop a comment in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna have to keep talking. Hey, can you also please spend some time to talk about how you mark your levels? Yeah, maybe later, maybe later. Okay, let's continue talking this. Sorry about that. For anybody who was listening, I do apologize. I'm still getting used to the streaming. Okay, so just continuing where we left off. I'm glowing green. Oh, that's because the green screen, and oh, it's because of the sun. It's because the sun's coming from my loft window, and it's making the camera blur. I can't fix that. It's a nice sunny day. Oh, I'm sorry, man. All right, let's just carry on. I am sorry anyway. Some people are saying the quality is good. Right. So where were we? Where were we? So the money printer. Yeah, so they say we're gonna turn the money printer on. I was working at Bahrain Bank. At Bahrain Bank, my boss comes and says, "Yo, NJ, we got a bit of a problem. We need to send everybody home in the next couple of days, but we have no work from home solution." Um, so I called the company, I called our hosting company, and I said to the hosting company, "By the way, this is all important. Please continue listening. This relates to you. Just keep listening." I call our hosting company and I say, "Hey, how's it going? I hope everybody's doing good. We need a work from home solution. Can you set up a VPN for us from the company to global worldwide so that, our users, our workers and whatnot can work from home?" They say, "No problem. It will cost you 50 grand. We can get it set up for you in 2 months." And I said, "Whoa, 50K is maybe 5 times our budget, and 2 months, we need it in like 3 days. Because if we've got 10 days to do all of this, we need 3 days to get it set up. We need 7 days to actually get everybody home on their VPN, getting used to the system. We need to build the system." So suddenly, out of nowhere, due to this virus, my company got a 50, 100K bill just out of nowhere. So the government says, "Okay, we understand that a billion of these companies have gotten all these bills. So we're going to need to figure something out that is going to help all these companies stay alive. Because if these companies die, we're going to lose our economy. Your local chicken shop, if they can't afford to stay alive, then suddenly you've lost your lunch place. It's part of the economy that gets affected." So the government says, "All right, we've turned this money printer on. Let's use this money that we've printed and we're going to give it to all these businesses. And we're going to give it to all these people that are going home that have lost their jobs. We're going to give it to them. And we're going to call this furlough." Okay, this is a very higher perspective of what's happening, but it will help you get 70% of the way. All right. Now, we do that for a whole year. We do that for a whole year. Everybody's getting money. Everybody's at home enjoying the sun. Some people are working from home. Some people aren't working from home. But I tell you now, everybody is getting paid. Furlough, everybody's on it. All right. But the problem is, the government printed all this money. They gave us all this money. Most people pumped the stock market with all of this money. Most people pumped their own cryptocurrencies with this money. Everything was looking good. Everything was looking great until a year or two later, when somebody decided that we need to start paying this money back. Because what happens is, and I'll give you one more example for all you crypto savvy people here, is if you've got a token, let's say for example you've got the iPhone token, okay? iPhone token. iPhone token has 20 million coins in circulation. Okay? The total supply of the iPhone token is 100 million coins, but circulating supply is 20 million tokens. What happens is, if the next day I say I'm going to dump another 20 million tokens on the market, the circulating supply of iPhone token is going to double. There's going to be so much selling pressure. The value of the iPhone token is going to go lower. The value of the iPhone token is going to decline to a point where it's going to be difficult to actually get it back up. And we're going to have to call it now an inflationary token. Similarly, they printed all these dollars using the money printer. And what did that lead to? Inflation. And every month we were getting the CPI and the inflation was growing, 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 growing. Now, inflation in itself is a subject that we'll discuss on the next CPI watch along. All right. We're not going to discuss that today, but you got the key word, inflation. From that story that I've just discussed with the COVID and the furlough and the this, the that, you've got the inflation. Now, somebody has to pay that money back. That's the problem. We printed all this money that we've printed using the printer. We've got to pay it back. Okay? How do we pay it back? Because the government's not going to pay it back. They're the heroes, right? So what happens is they start upping the tax. They start increasing the mortgage rates. Suddenly, your mortgage has gone from 1% to 6%. Your wages haven't increased, but you're coming home and telling your wife and you're telling your kids, we can't go to the restaurant this Saturday because, the mortgage has gone up from £300 to £1,500. It's not that bad, but you know what I mean. We saw stories of electricity bills going from £300 to £3,000, etc., etc. This is real life situations that destroy people. And for the 110 people here, I'm talking about all of us. Okay? I'm talking about all of us. Now, how does this relate to crypto, to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and why I went short? How it relates to crypto is, well, you see, if you're going to take money from people like me and you, if you're going to increase taxes and you're going to increase the interest rate on loans, it will take years before we can fix this inflationary situation. But the problem is, if we've got people struggling for years, it's going to increase the death rate. It's going to kill the economy quickly. It's going to force people to go into depression. Crime rates are going to go up because I'm not sure where you were born. I grew up in Tottenham and my dad was always at work. So if I'm on road, no one's going to come and fight for me. I've got to fight by myself. And when people don't have something, if your mum and dad aren't making enough money and you can't eat and you can't get whatever you want and you're wearing the same shoes when everybody else has bought new shoes, you're going to start twisting your mentality. You're going to go out onto the street, you're going to punch someone so hard in the face and take their shoes. So crime rates go up, which means that we're going to need more police on the road, but we haven't got money. And it's a very horrible domino effect. So here we go. Thank you so much for waiting. For those of you who listened, you listened all the way to the end of that story. The key word that I'm going to discuss now, again, from a higher perspective, is quantitative tightening. Yay, we made it. We did it. I'm proud of you lot. Gunners? Yo, no, we're Manchester United supporters here. In the chat, let him know we support Man United here. I'm just kidding. So, the key word is quantitative tightening. What does that mean, NJ? Why have you told us this whole stream? You've told us all of this madness, and now you're talking about quantitative tightening. What does that have to do with anything? Let me tell you. So, when you've got trading pairs, you've got BTC USD, you've got the SPX, you've got Ethereum USD, you've got come on guys, give me it, Solana USDT, you've got Inge USDT. Okay, you've got all these trading pairs. How do you trade these pairs? You go on Binance. Go on Binance, and then when you go on Binance, you look at the market. You type in INJ. You see INJ USDT. It brings up a page, and you see INJ. You see, all right, this is the price of Inge. This is the chart. This is the market books, and this is where I buy and sell. There is more to it than that. There is liquidity inside of all of this, in all of these trading pairs. Just like when you launch a token on Uniswap, or if you go on Uniswap, or if you go on Dex Tools, you'll see the liquidity in these tokens. Now, when it comes to cryptocurrencies, the liquidity is always going to be, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million. Maybe you'll see 20 million, 30 million on some of the bigger coins. But for things like gold or the S&P, we're talking billions and billions and billions and maybe even trillions. I think the market cap for gold is like 8 trillion. So the liquidity, like when you're looking at a meme coin on Uniswap and the market cap is 200k market cap and the liquidity is 10k, and then you compare it with something like the S&P where the liquidity is billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of USD, you start thinking, whoa, this meme coin, it might make me some money, but in the grand scheme of things, it is a very, very, very small piece. Even Bitcoin's liquidity is so low compared to traditional markets. Now, going back to the key word, quantitative tightening. I'm so happy that you all stayed for this. I'm so glad you're listening to this. I feel like I'm really teaching something here now, because this is what I try and push across to AM and Mac, but we've got 120 people here listening to this. Amazing. I feel like Mark Goldbridge. So quantitative tightening. So what happens is the Fed, the Federal Reserve, the people who are in charge of the treasuries and money, people who are in charge of money, just money. Yeah. They say, all right, we can't keep destroying people. We know that we are affecting people. Just in the US, yeah? We said that the dollar was the strongest in the world. We're going to talk about the UK and the rest of the countries in just a moment. We're going to talk about, keep it to the US for now. Fed says, oh, Scarlett corrected me here. Scarlett said a gold 12 trillion market cap. And Bihayang, good example, XRP USDT. That's a very, very good example. That's got much more liquidity than others as well. Gerzen says lovely content. I will shout you guys out in a moment. Let me finish quantitative tightening. I'll take some comments. We'll finish these articles. I'll take a few more comments and then I'll shoot off. All right. Cheers, everyone. Quantitative tightening, going back to that. So the Fed say, we know we can't keep destroying people. So what we're going to do is we're going to start removing liquidity from the markets. Now, why is that important or unimportant? It's not the same as removing a striker from a football team. Your striker is the one that's going to score you your goals. You're still going to have your striker. Okay? So it might not be as bad as it sounds, but. This is going to be difficult to explain. I'm going to try my best to explain it. Let me bring my screen up real quick. Now, oopsie daisy. Yeah, there we go. Now, yes, you're right, Spiros. It is scary. It's going to get scarier. Listen to this. Listen to this. So let's say, for example, we have got Ethereum. Okay. Now, these candles that I'm looking at here, I just want to look at one candle, really. I don't really want to. Yeah, here we go. So this candle here, guys, the low of this candle is 1740. The high of this candle is 1770. All right. And you've got the open and the close. Now, in a market that has a lot of liquidity, like I'm talking during a bull market, all right, it might take metaphorically 10 million USD to take Ethereum from 1740 to 1770. So to get a $30 move in Ethereum upwards, you need $10 million. Now, when liquidity starts leaving the market, right? I'm going to block you if you keep asking the same question over and over again. You're the only person who's saying this. And I think you're the person who put the comment yesterday. If you can't see it, you're just going to have to zoom in or watch it on a TV. If you can't, listen intently. If you keep asking the same thing, mods, please, can you handle this? You know, don't be too mean, but just please handle it. It's a culture thing. So in a market where they remove liquidity, it might take $3 million now to pump this price up from 1740 to 1770. That's a very, very bad sign. It's a sign that if it's taking a lot less money to pump the price of a market, it means that you're now open to pump and dump. Now you start seeing candles that look very, very odd. In the bull market, price action was so clean. Look how, oi, what's this? Choose a plan. Move this, man. All right, I don't know. In the bull market, you've got much cleaner price action. Look at you when you've got a trending environment, you've got a low, higher 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 low, long until you're strong, long until you're wrong. All right. And then in the bear market, it's the same thing. Look, higher low, higher low. Oh, sorry, higher, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Clean, clean. But then this market that we've got looks like a shit coin. Look at this. Look at this. It's not quite as clean. Yeah, it makes sense to us because we break it down over the course of an hour or two, but it's not as clean. And it's even worse for Matic and Inge and Solana. It doesn't take a lot. It takes a small amount of money, 50k, and you can move Matic by a little bit. 50k and you can move Inge by a little bit. It's very scary because what happens if somebody that has $1 million hits the short button on your altcoin? What happens? You will get wrecked. Yesterday, on yesterday's episode, I said, look, guys, we didn't go short at 1830, 1840. And one thing that I said was, over here, I said, look, it doesn't give people a chance to scale out. Even now, we might just get stopped out in one candle. It's scary. It's difficult to go long because the moment this dumps, it's going to be like this. Oopsie, what have I done there? The moment it dumps, it's going to be like this. It's going to be these big candles like this because there's no liquidity in the market. Go and Google quantitative tightening. They don't remove liquidity from crypto specifically. They remove liquidity from things like the S&P, from big trading pairs. They remove liquidity. And when those things become stupidly volatile and people are already leaving crypto, it makes crypto easy to move around. Suddenly, you can't predict higher prices anymore. Suddenly you can only predict lower prices. That's all you can do. Because for liquidity to come in, we need people to come into crypto. To get people to come into crypto, we need to start, we need to get into a bull market. People need to see that altcoins are shining. People need to see that people are making money. Everyone's winning in crypto. But people are not going to get into crypto when Ethereum's at 2K. They're going to want to get into crypto when they see everybody winning. It's not about the price of crypto. It's about everybody collectively winning all across the TV, all across the adverts, all across your mobile phones. You're watching a YouTube video and a sponsored ad comes up saying, trade with eToro. That's what a bull market is. That's what entices people to get in. That's where our liquidity is. But we can't do that when we have not been presented with the correct buying opportunities. Now, the thing is, when I say the dollar is the strongest currency in the world, the reason that I say that is because whatever the dollar does affects every single other currency. So for the last 20 minutes, for those of you who have paid attention to everything I've said first COVID happened, then this is what the Fed did, then this is what the Fed did, then that's what the Fed did. Then we spoke about quantitative tightening to a very, very high degree. We spoke about it. Obviously, someone like XO will be able to explain this 10 million times better. Yeah? It makes you wonder, why would I lead the stream with the dollar being so powerful? Because everything that the dollar has done in this story has affected the pound. Everything that the dollar has done has affected the S&P. It's affected cryptocurrency. Bitcoin hasn't done anything wrong. There's not been any FUD that's come out where somebody says I've hacked Bitcoin. There's not been any FUD that's come out that says Ethereum is rubbish. It's, in fact, over the last 2 years, Ethereum and Bitcoin have built. We've actually become even more fortified as a cryptocurrency community. We have. We've evolved, we've become more mature, and yet the price doesn't give us the returns. How can we be so invested in crypto and price doesn't do what we want it to do? Simply because we're not in that market. Because everything that's happening is happening from the dollar down, not Bitcoin down. Bitcoin is at the bottom and we are below that. The millions that you're making, the Lambos that you're buying, it's not even specks of dust compared to where the dollar is, all the way up below, above where I can point, all the way up here. That's where the dollar is. Okay? So now with the rest of the news that you're going to learn, you're going to see, because some people say to me, yeah, Shanghai, China, bullish, China's bullish, and China are giving all this money out. China's doing this, China's doing that. China's economy is flourishing. But wait, why is crypto not going crazy then? Why is Bitcoin not at all-time high? We're in summer now. We've had 2 years of bear market already. Why isn't crypto following suit? Because the Chinese yuan is not the most powerful cryptocurrency in the world. The Chinese yuan, whatever they do, doesn't affect the pound. It doesn't affect the euro. It doesn't affect the Swiss. It only affects the pound. It only affects the yuan. So why would it affect crypto? Hopefully that helps you guys understand why it is so much easier to short in this market. Because as long as the dollar, as long as the Fed continue to make things difficult for us, whenever we do a rate hike, it's not because they've hiked rates, it's because they've done something to impact the dollar. And it's a very bearish thing that they've done to impact the dollar. Therefore, that's going to coincide with the markets that we trade. Look, if we were in China right now and we were trading, I don't know, CNY USD, CNY ETH or something like that, I would be having a different conversation with you. Of course, the dollar stuff would still be there. I'd drop videos and talk about the dollar. Of course I would. But I would say don't worry too much about it. We're in China. We don't actually care about this. We're actually trading markets that are different. But we're not. We're in cryptocurrency. We trade BTC USD. We trade Ethereum USD. The altcoins that we look for, we look at altcoins and think to ourselves, can this altcoin get in the top 10? Can this altcoin get in the top 20? That's what we look for. So essentially, that means the dollar is everything for us. That means the dollar is more important to us than it is to anybody else. So, going back to where we were, if the US has accrued all of this debt, which has led to inflation, that means that the debt itself that we have, in terms of all this money that we've accrued from furlough, from these handouts, from these grants, from the market pumping like crazy, from all this, etc., etc., there's going to be a point where the Fed say, look, you can't have more debt than this. If your debt is 2 trillion or 3 trillion, you're not allowed to go past 3 trillion. If you go past 3 trillion, we're going to have conversations about the dollar collapsing. If you go past 4 trillion, we're not going to be able to bail you out. If you go past 5 trillion, it's over. We're going to have to collapse the economy, X, Y, and Z. No, they think just like we do, and they have more options than we do. So they're not going to just let us go to zero. Now, this is where people are getting confused. Where people are getting confused is they are associating this news with a bull market when they don't actually understand. And this is why I've gone so quiet on Twitter. I've gone so quiet on Twitter because it's full of idiots. It's even people that I used to respect. They are morons. They are absolute morons. Like, Wagwan, how can you have this many followers and you're a clown like that? Like, even if you just take a minute just to study the words, like, you can learn all of this in an hour. You could just rewatch this stream and you already have enough information to go and speak calmly. You know, don't like it's a real issue that I've got. I'm really enjoying Telegram right now because the community is good. People want to trade, people want to learn. I'm enjoying YouTube. People want to learn. They're focused on making sure that they're prepared for the next bull market. That's all I care about. That's the purpose of this show. The purpose of this show is to prepare for the next bull market. The next bull market will come. We'll enjoy that. We'll have a year and a bit or whatever, however long that is. We'll enjoy that whole bull market, trade the bear market together, and then we'll see what happens next. This show is not. It's not for me to go and I don't know, but you guys know what I mean. Rant over, okay? So let's now that everybody's is an expert, yeah. The House Republic, this sounds like Star Wars. The Republicans have reached an agreement in principle with the White House on raising the debt ceiling. So the debt ceiling is the highest that they can go. Now, rather than, increasing the rates, rather than adding more interest to hey, stop asking me about Denk, man. Stop. Don't bring his name on this show anymore. Don't do that. Because every time you lot ask me, I'm gonna say something bad, and I'm not built like that. I'm not built like that. Just don't ask me about Denk no more. So mods, anytime someone asks about Denk, unless it's a real question, just tell them off. Yeah, just not in a polite way. Tell them off. So they're saying that they want to increase the debt ceiling. Okay. Now, what does that mean to me? To 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 give you context, let's say for instance trader NJ has a gambling problem. Yeah, I come up to you and I say August, let me borrow £100. So August gives me £100, right? And that's the maximum debt that I can take. So I go to the casino, I roll the dice and I just lose £100. So I come back to August and August is like, look, we're not going to increase your debt further. We're not going to add more to this. You've lost £100. Like, market is bearish right now because we're £100 in debt. You can't be talking about bull market. Bull market is when I owe you £100, NJ. But right now you owe me £100. So we haven't even broke even yet for you to even start the convo about bull market. Okay. Then I go and I say to Addy, I say, hey Addy, listen, let me borrow £20 in it. I'm not asking for £100, and I know that I owe £100. Let me ask for £20. That's it, £20. So we can take the ceiling from £100 to 120. The plan is still the same. We're gonna do the Bitcoin halving. We're gonna get the debt down, and then once we get the debt to zero, we're gonna pump £100 into it with this money printer, and we're gonna have a bull market again where we're gonna have risk on. etc., etc., and everybody's going to be happy and leave us alone. But let me borrow £20 in it, please, man. Now, Addy, he's just a nice guy or girl. He's Addy, Addy, just Addy, all right? Um, Addy says, all right, you know what, NJ? August told me don't do this, but I'm gonna give you the £20. He gives me the £20. I go straight to the casino. I'm there losing it within minutes. I stink like cigarettes and beer. I'm losing it then and there. But now, because I got this £20, everybody that's following me is like, yo, you know, NJ, he's not as down as people think. He's not as down as people think he is. He's actually got £20. Yeah, he lost 100. We know that, bro. But why are you talking about the past, man? Grow up. He's got £20 right now. But what do you think this £20 is gonna? What do you think this £20 is gonna give you all time high for Bitcoin, or do you think all time high is gonna give you all time high for Ethereum, or what do you think this £20 is gonna do for you? Because I'm seeing everybody going long. Nobody believes that this chart can go lower. I swear to God, the amount of people I've spoken to, people are blanking me on Telegram. There was one person I was speaking to the other day, asking me about my opinion. I gave my opinion, and I'm just getting one tick now. I'm not getting convo with that person no more. And I'm just like, rah, like, why are you making it personal? Like, Wagwan, what did I do? I'm just giving you my opinion on the market. You get me? Like, why? What did I do? You know, a lot of people think that that £20 is going to pump this market to all time high. Even if this thing goes to 2200, even if we go here and we swipe these highs out here, all right, we'll try and catch a good long or two on the Telegram, on in Twitter maybe we'll try and catch a good long or two, right? But I'm telling you, my objective going forward is to short it. Why, my friends? Because as we've said, the dollar is the most powerful crypto. The dollar is the most powerful currency in the world. It is the most powerful currency. I'm not using fancy words. I'm not trying to sound like XO and I'm not trying to sound like SC. I'm just trying to talk to myself here because it was weird. Like sometimes when XO explains it to me on the phone, he breaks it down for me like I'm disabled or something. And that's how I actually learn it. I'm not very good at reading articles and sitting there and reading books. I'm not as smart as XO is, but he's my big bro. Like, obviously, he's going to big bro me all the time. Easy. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take time for Crypto Mac, for example, to catch up to where I am. And I don't even think I'm that good, but he'll get there. I trust him. And the same with all of you guys as well. Like, you might have not known about quantitative tightening before. Maybe a few of you do, like KAR and stuff like that. But, you know, those kind of words, you might have not known about them, but now you do, or at least you've got some sort of idea, you know. But ultimately the objective remains the same. We're just trying to get to the next bull market. So in order to get to the next bull market, my question is, when do I buy Bitcoin? Like, if I was to chat to trader NJ and I didn't know nothing about crypto, I wouldn't say, so what do you think about the market right now? I just took a long recently. I just took a short. Bro, you're not asking me about the market. You're just you're talking to me about a trade that you've taken. My question is, yo, NJ, you see this bull market thing, bro? When do I actually buy Bitcoin? Because obviously, you know, I want to actually be part of the whole story. You know, Elizabeth, good to see you, my bro. Good to see you. Lots of love, lots of love. Elizabeth is back now, so she's gonna be on all the streams probably. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. My favorite mod. Anyway, um, you know, the question I'd be asking is, when do I get into cryptocurrency so I can ride the AVAXs and the Solanas and the Polkadots and the Lunas and the Injas and just other coins that went up? When does that market come back? Don't talk to me about Pepe, which is the only meme coin that did what it did. Don't talk to me about Bob, which is the only meme coin that did what it did. Don't talk to me about currencies where one or two people have won. I want to get back to the market where everybody was up 100x, 100x, 100x. How do we get back to that, trader NJ? Nobody asks me that, man. Me and XO were asking those questions in 2018. I swear. My crew, my tightest circle now that I've got a handful of people that I'm super tight with. But the reason I'm tight with them is because they're so like-minded. Like, they were asking that question, like, how do we get back to that market? Because when that market comes back, everything that you waited for, it all disappears. All them times when you couldn't afford this and couldn't do that, couldn't, one altcoin pops and you've got all that money. Okay? Nobody asks that question. And the episode today that we discussed, talking about the dollar and why it's so strong and how it affects the market, the answer is in the dollar itself. You know, the answer is we need to get back into a very strong risk on environment. So, another little homework piece for all of you today. So, I talked to you guys about quantitative tightening. Go and Google that. Just have a quick Google, and also Google what is risk on and what is risk off. I think I did say that earlier on in the episode, but just go and Google that. It will help you so much. You know, it will help you so much. If it does, by the way, someone's saying it's not going to 1920. If it doesn't go to 1920, then F the market and it's screwed us over. It can, man. It's right here. It's $10. Just go up here, man. Go up here, and it might even go higher than that. So we'll see. We'll see. We're not out of the woods yet. Like we need to actually start breaking down before we say, yeah, the trade went well. But I'm not risking the whole R right now. So I'll be upset if I can't get the whole R on. But alhamdulillah for everything. You know, alhamdulillah means praise to God. Praise to God for everything. So anyway, just to wrap up what we've been speaking about, just on this in particular, this debt ceiling deal that we've got right here, it doesn't gas me up. You just given the gambler another 20 quid. It doesn't gas me up. I want to see the Fed talk about rate pauses. I want the Fed to say, all right, guys, we've been dumping since November 2021. The inflation has gone so high, and because of these rate hikes, the inflation has been getting better and better and better. We know that none of you have money. We know that you lot can't afford to do anything. We know businesses are going downhill because they can't afford to keep their services running because you've got no money to give them. So what we're going to do is we're not going to lower the rates. We're not going to do what's the opposite of rate hike? Reduce rates. Rate cuts. That's it. Rate cuts. We're not we're not going to cut the rates. Oh, don't worry, Richard. Don't worry. You're good. The recording will be available once this stream is over, and that's not just for you; it's for everybody as well. All right. It's a lot of stuff to digest today, anyway. So make sure you've got some free time when you watch it. A lot of the folks here that joined today, I've put them through a lot of madness today in the stream. I love you guys all. So going back to what I was just saying a moment ago, I want the Fed to come and say, look, we know that we've done all of this. Now that inflation is getting to where we want it to be, we're not going to increase the rates anymore. We're not going to reduce them. So it's not a bull market. We're not going to be putting money back in the system. We're not going to be quantitative easing. Okay, quantitative tightening, quantitative easing. That's one to Google as well. That is one of the things that's going to get us back into the bull market. All right, quantitative easing. It's just the opposite of quantitative tightening, pulling liquidity out of the market and forcing us like there's no tomorrow, you know? So I want to see them pausing the rates. Once they pause the rates, that's when I'm going to feel more comfortable. I'm going to be like, you know what? We are actually moving in that direction where I really, really, I've gone from 98% believing that there's a bull market coming to 99.9%. And because once this rate pause comes, the only thing that can follow after that, provided that there's no aliens or another COVID or no, like the president didn't rape no one or anything like that, provided we got those, we can start looking forward to the rate cuts. When the rate cuts come, it's not just going to be straight bull market, because when we get the rate pause, we're still in a recessionary environment. All of these things that the dollar has done has put us in an environment where we can't afford anything. So it's just the beginning of a recession. But I'm expecting the market to price the recession in early. I'm expecting people to get really bearish. You know how people are so bullish right now, friends? And I'm like, yeah, I'm shorting. Everybody's like, NJ, you're a waste, man, bruv. Why are you shorting? You're a perma bear. You don't belong on. But if we do come down to 1K, if we come down here, guys, yeah. Hey, who's gonna mess up my line? I need this line for later. If we do come down here, let's say 1200, everybody's going to be talking about, I'm buying ETH at 600, I'm buying ETH at 500. Clip this, tweet it, or save it, or mark it in your notepads. On the 30th of May, NJ said, by the time we come down to 1200 or 13 or wherever we are, your favorite accounts that have 100, 200, 300, 400k followers, they're all going to be saying, you know what, yeah, I'm buying ETH at 700. I'm buying ETH at 600. Watch, I'm buying ETH at 5. Yeah, to be honest, like I've been saying DCA for a while now, I've been DCAing since the beginning. Really, I've always said don't go all in, you prick. You're talking about Pepe 2 minutes ago, bruv. You're talking about Pepe to 1 billion market cap, 2 billion market cap, free. Do you know what I mean? So, like, by the time we get down here, I'm not just going to blindly buy, but it will be time to begin getting bullish. You don't get bullish when the market's been pumping. You get bullish when it's breaking down. Like, you get bullish when it's come down, when it's retraced. Look at these lows. Look at these two little, you see right here? Look at this. In trading, don't we call that clean lows? You see right here, guys? I don't even, let me draw it. Let me draw it. Don't we call that clean lows? That comes in at $1,000. You know what I mean? So if we do get to $1,000, watch. I guarantee you, the people who are bullish right now, today, who are cussing out perma bears, they're not going to be bullish here. They're not going to be bullish at these clean lows. Promise you. I can put money on it that they won't be. But for us, we're going to be saying, right, do you know what? It's time to start buying Ethereum spot. We're not going to be buying it for 20% or 10%. It's going to be time to go in spot, and we're going to have to start talking about other things now. Like CPI is going to be about, could there be a rate cut coming? Inflation, could we see inflation, stabilize? Rate, is the pause coming? Oh, quantitative easing. I'm seeing people are getting grants again and money's coming back in the market again. New money's coming into crypto again. Should we be going long? X, Y, and Z. While they're going to be talking about, and this is going to be during the recession, yeah? During the recession, when everybody's getting maximum bearish. Trust me, even NJ would have done that. Couple years back when Bitcoin was at 3K, I was shorting it to 1. I was like, fair value for Bitcoin is 1.2K. I was a straight up dickhead. Like, I was an idiot. And I shorted it 3K, 4K, 5K, 6K. I kept shorting it 1R, minus 1R, guys. I didn't understand markets, man. I was just focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I didn't really understand how it fits into the bigger picture. By the way, I just have seen now that we've hit over 100 likes. Maximum gratefulness. I can't believe we've done that. I love all of you. You lot are amazing. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Okay, just I know you guys are just listening to me, but I do appreciate it. It goes a long way, mate. So, that's what we want to look at. Okay, so when it comes to the debt ceiling and agreement being reached, that's just a temporary. For me, that's FUD, man. That's not even bullish. People are getting bullish calling for like 35K, 36K, 40K. But like, if we're going to get there, then it's just going to be a bigger move down. It's just going to be a bigger move down. It's just my opinion at the end of the day. Everybody's got different opinions, and I respect everybody's opinions, but this is just my opinion, and I don't mind whether I get it right or wrong. I'm going to be here. And if I'm here, I'm going to get part of the bull market. People, bless you, NJ. Bless you, mate. Bless you, Spar. Do you know what? I'm going to move on to the next one, but let's get some comments. Let me have a look at some of these comments, all right? Because I see that you guys are putting in some comments, and you guys. So what's Eagle saying? Eagle says, I just discovered you today, but I would listen to you for hours. Too interesting. Thanks for all the information you shared. Oh, beautiful, mate. Thank you very much for your lovely comment. Cheers. Phil Rakesh is saying yes. To what though? I've got this pillow underneath my desk, yeah? And because I've got I think the fluff is coming out the pillow and it keeps flying up and it keeps touching the bottom of my nose and it keeps touching the microphone as well. Just random, I know. So rate reduction, looking forward to it. Rubber band snapback. I have a feeling we will dump hard on bullish CT. Yeah, I think so too, man. I think so too. I think we will dump hard. Bantergirl's saying, great show, NJ. Cheers, appreciate it. All right, let's move on. So, again, you guys should know now what I feel about all of this. The next piece of news that I want to talk to you about is this. Look at this. Now, recently, I know you guys would have seen it on Twitter. Did you guys see this thing where the Saudi Arabians were saying they want to not use the dollar as much now for like oil and things like that? Okay? Look, just because you don't want to chat to her doesn't mean she's not the prettiest girl in the school. Other guys are going to chat to her. Just because you are sexy yourself and you're not chatting to her, she's going to get that D from somewhere else. Lots of people can score. The dollar is the most powerful currency in the world. If news like this was affecting the pound and the euro and the S&P and the dollar itself, then I would say, you know what, guys, we're not going to be charting Dixie anymore. We're not going to be charting big channels for the dollar, and we're not going to be looking at GBP or the euro and this and that. We're going to be looking at the real. But ask yourself the question, does the real have any real impact on you? Like, if somebody says we're going to have a rate hike, your mortgage is going up, your bills are going up, your money is going lower, your cryptocurrency bags are going lower. But if somebody from Saudi says, oh, we're using reals for something else now, does it affect you? Like, does it bother you? Does it affect your energy bills, or does it affect your day-to-day work life? How is it going to affect crypto? Even does Solana start going up because of this? Now, when you look at this is the beginning of something that's going to take years to transpire. When Abu Dhabi bought Man City, they didn't just start winning in the evil, spiteful ways that they're winning now. It took them 10 years to do it. They were known as the noisy neighbors. They were, my dad says that he saw their stadium like 20 years ago. It was old wood, not wood. It was old wood, dad says. And now they've got the Etihad. Now they've got this, they've got that, because money has been going into it. They've had a big plan. So when you look at something like this, if you're going to say to me, oh, NJ, you know what? I kind of think that the dollar's going to collapse. All right, let's talk about 20, 30 years, maybe 40 years. Let's talk about it. Maybe this picture that we're seeing here could be the start of something big. But we're not going to be alive, bro. Like, we're going to be old, man. My face is going to look so different if I'm alive. It's not going to be overnight. But if I'm telling you guys that the halving is going to be next year, and the bull market is going to probably be next year, in my opinion, the start of the bull market is going to be next year, then why the F does this pick matter to me? Like, why is everybody Saudi Arabia in talks to join China-based BRICS bank? Yeah, I'm down with it. I'm so down. We need to see the dollar chill out a little bit, so that we can let Bitcoin do its thing. We need that. But this is not the way it happens. This is not the way it happens. You know what I mean? Look, there's 100 of you in the chat. I can't fight all of you. If you lot all ganged up and rocked me, I'd die within 20 seconds. You lot will all beat me up. Even if I take drugs and I train, the moment you lot jump on me, I'm finished. I'll try to injure one or two of you, try and make it so that I made some sort of statement. But I'm done. So the dollar is that guy. The dollar's that guy. You can't just go and fight him. Even if all of us here go and fight the dollar, we're not winning, bro. And we're not even gonna get the story that gets told about us is one of them side stories. It's not even a big story. Like, you're not no main character. The dollar's the main character. You can't. And that brings me to the final bit, right? Look at this. People get gassed when they see this. China is betting big on the metaverse as Zheng Zhu joins with $8.5 billion of a fund. Again, pardon my language, I fuck with that. But this is not Jerome Powell. This is not, the Fed chairman, yeah? He can say, I'm quite liking crypto, and Bitcoin will jump from 28K right now to like 30K, 31K, 32K. If he tweets that, that's what will happen. This guy says, you know what, yeah, I'm going to put 8.5 billion. I don't just like crypto. I'm putting 8.5 billion in this. Market don't do shit. Why? Because the moral of today's episode, everyone, is that the dollar is the most strongest currency in the world. Now, I'm going to wrap this episode up with one final thing that Murtaza wanted me to bring up. For those of you who don't know who Murtaza is, he's my partner. He's my partner. He's pretty much my bro. I see him as family now. He's like Mac, AM. Me and Murtaza have been working together since 2017. He's just a really lovely guy, really, really nice guy. He owns 25% of In It for the Tech. So you'll see him floating about in the Telegram. A lot of these streams, a lot of direction and a lot of help goes in to Murtaza. I would really like it if everybody could show him love whenever you do see him. He works really hard for us in the background and doesn't get as much love as I do because my face is on the camera, So give him love, show him love. He's such a good person to know. I've just got so many good things to say about him, even though he's so annoying. He wanted me to discuss this today, all right? Now, we're going to quickly talk about this, and I'm going to start. Oh, whoopsie, let me delete that. Let me delete that. I was having some fun. Rightio. So, what I want to talk to you guys now about is Litecoin. Now, many, many years ago, Satoshi Nakamoto, let me take a drag of my vape because I'm getting a bit tired now. We've been live for an hour and a half. I'm getting tired. When 2008, 2009, wherever it was, Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin. Bitcoin was a way to attack the centralized markets, traditional finance, banks. It was a way to attack banks. This brother called Charlie Lee came along and he was like, you know what, Bitcoin is sick, but I'm going to make Litecoin, which is the new Bitcoin. It's the fast Bitcoin. And he pretty much just copy and pasted Bitcoin with different tech. So it is faster than Bitcoin, but you know what, like, how do I explain? It's like Nike and Puma. Like, no one really rocks Puma like that. I mean, if you're gonna go rob someone or fight someone on road and you're gonna throw the creps away afterwards, then yeah, you wear Pumas. But if you're gonna go link your girl or go on a date or something, you're gonna wear your Nikes or your Louis V's or whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna go football, you're gonna wear Nikes or Adidas. You're not gonna wear Puma. Maybe some of you lot do. I don't know, but I'm just giving you the example. You know, now part of the part of the Litecoin narrative is that it's got the same fundamentals as Bitcoin. It's got halvings, you know. Now, Bitcoin, every 4 years, sorry, every 4 years, not three, every 4 years, Bitcoin has a halving. And what the halving is in order to get Bitcoin onto the market without buying it or trading it, you have to get computers that have strict computational power. So, like, imagine the best graphics card in the world right now. I think it's like the 4090, the commercial graphics card, you know? All right, sorry, Lily. Sorry. And I'm sorry, Greg. I wasn't sending. I'm just saying, I was just giving an example, you know. I'm not look, you don't even have to wear brands. Genuinely, no cap, you don't have to wear brands. This what's this? G Star. Yeah, no one even wears G Star anymore. I'm wearing G Star. This is the top that I did already long part one in. So it's a 1 year old top, 2 years old top, you know? So it's not like I'm not hating, I'm just saying, you know. But so with Bitcoin, every time we've had the halving every 4 years, um price tends to go into a bull market after that, because you take all these graphics cards, you put them all together, you get a lot of electricity to power it all up. The graphics cards, you have a script running that decodes the Bitcoin hash, and then when it decodes the Bitcoin hash, what it does is you get Bitcoin in return. Okay, a small amount of Bitcoin in return. Now, in 2010, 2011, 2012, you'd get like 1, 2, 3 Bitcoin per pop. Like every month, you'd be generating 1, 2, 3 BTC, and the energy prices would be like, 2K, right? So it was profitable as well. Um, every time we have a halving, the amount of Bitcoin you get for the mining, it dumps by half. So I think we're in 2024. We're going 2000. So I think 2020, 2019, we had 6 Bitcoin per month. I think, yeah, don't quote me on this. And then I think the halving that happened in 2020, it looked, someone saying no. Okay, I might be wrong. Just go and get the metrics. Yeah. Um, oh, I think this person is watching. You're watching half an hour before, bro, and you're commenting now. All right, minor. Um, then when the halving came in 2020, that got lowered to 3. So the next halving is going to lower again. Okay. Now, every time it lowers, you still have to pay the same amount of electricity to actually mine the Bitcoin. So it's not becoming profitable as much. So energy prices need to go lower. We need a full-on risk-on environment now to actually get Bitcoin to start pushing from a mining perspective. Litecoin has the same thing. Litecoin has halvings too. So, like, if I go here, hopefully no porn comes up. Um, when is the Litecoin halving? A good thing that no history came up there. So the Litecoin halving is expected to take place on August the 2nd, 2023. Okay. And honestly, this does look like a very bullish chart. I'm not longing this. I know Murtaza is, and I get it. I totally get it. All right. I can see where you're going with this. I can see where you're looking to go to as well. It doesn't take a lot of TA. This is a narrative play, but Murtaza wanted me to cover this, and I think it's worth covering it. Okay. Because thank you, Hafawell. Thank you very much. So, for those of you who want the actual figures, current BTC block reward is 6.25 per for every time you've mined a whole before you've done a whole cycle of mining. Okay, but that will change to half in 2024. So look, I can see Litecoin. I can see it pushing up. I can see the swing low. I can see it. I think it's a good hedge against Bitcoin. I do think it is. I'm a little bit shook to buy this, to be honest. I don't feel it, man. After all that stuff I explained about with the liquidity and this and that, I'd rather miss all the long moves and just catch the shorts. Because there's this fat helicopter that's outside my house and it's just right there. You're a helicopter. Just leave. Can you guys hear that? I hope you guys can still hear me. Um, I think that there is a time to be defensive and there's a time to be aggressive. In 2021, you guys saw how aggressive I was. I was all about Floki and I was long in so many meme coins and so many tokens. I put like 6 figures in Syscoin, VRA. I was in Solana. I missed out on Inge. I was in all sorts of altcoins. It was one of those ones where an investor would look at me and say, NJ, what are you doing, bruv? Like, are you actually a trader? You look like some hodler, bro. But I would respond with, the market is telling me to be aggressive, bro. It's not about risk anymore. It's not about 1R, 2R, 3R. Market's telling me to put my foot down and accelerate. You're in a Lamborghini Urus, or you're in a Porsche Turbo Cayenne Turbo GT. If you're going through a bendy mountain road, you're gonna accelerate, brake. You're gonna focus on taking good turns. If you see a straight line and there's good barriers and there's no cars on the road and it's a straight line, you're gonna accelerate as hard as you can. With everything I've explained in today's episode, real talk, market's not telling me to just aggressively accelerate. Market's telling me to chill out. I don't see this bull market that everybody's seeing. I can tell who is looking at charts and only charts, and I can tell who's reading. Okay. And it's funny because reading is one of those things where it comes in even religion. Even in religion, like if you're a Muslim, you'll know, like from one school of thought to another, one of the first words that was revealed in Islam was read, Iqra, read. I could tell who's not reading. I could tell who's just fiddling about with charts, looking for quick range bound plays, getting stopped out all the time. But in reality, it's not really about that. It's just about trading what the market gives you. When the time to become aggressive comes, I swear to God, man, some of you are going to lose respect for me because I'm going to be so ugly. I can't wait. I can't wait. I know Liz is going to be like that too. So both of us. Anyway, look, that's it from me. Yeah, I can't see any more charts that I want to talk about. I can't really see any more comments. Oh, we've got a lovely comment here. Because how can there only be 100 viewers? Because there are 100 legends. I'm actually very grateful that there are 100. I didn't think there would be this many. Anyway, look, you can all help me then. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. You guys and girls are the early ones for the show. If you really are enjoying the show and you're really valuing and benefiting from the show, then share it. Go onto the Telegram channel, get involved. If there's 100 of you here and you guys are really passionate about the show, help me get to 100 retweets. When I put the episode, we'll do the OP unlock. I'm going to do this next. Let me just emotionally ask you what I'm asking you for. If you guys really want to help, then when I drop a post saying, guys, I'm going to go live in an hour or something like that, help me get to 100 retweets, help me get to 100 likes on the stream. The NJ community will really grow from that. The content will just naturally get better as the viewers come in and as the numbers go up. Just being real, just being real. Right, look, for the OP unlock, it's very, very simple. Very, 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 very simple. When it comes to OP, you've missed it. You haven't really missed it, but you've missed it. Okay, XO told you to go short up here at 320. XO told you to go short. XO told you to go short here at $3. XO told you to. I marked out this level. I got this level from XO. He told us that an over under of this level goes short. You've missed it. Okay, I've literally seen Big Bro short this from 320 average position free to 150, and he was calling for like 180, 150, etc., etc. You know, so we're coming into support now with OP. We could shank lower. Is it worth the short? You tell me. Look at the monthly chart. Do you want to be short in this after it's dumped 2x? You want to be short in this? I'd probably wait for a pullback. I'd probably wait something, like this. OP is just not the one to short right now, man. There are other altcoins, probably something like this. Everybody's gonna think it's going to zero because it's a big unlock. It'll probably do this, probably do that. You know, so I wouldn't touch this anyway, man. This is a shit coin. Like I would love to play this coin, but I told you, like, watch the episode. Like we talk about liquidity. I've given you all homework as well. I've given you all homework. When it comes to oil, excuse me. I can see you're talking about oil here. Look, that is the last question. Yeah, I'm not going to answer any more questions. I'm going. I'm tired. Oil. When it comes to oil, I was looking at a higher time frame chart on oil, and this is the chart that I shared on this YouTube channel. I'm not gonna lie, oil is looking bullish. It is looking bullish. It is, and also like whereas I wouldn't short this, man. I wouldn't short this. Oil is looking bullish. So look, there's your range. I've given you a range for oil. Okay, I'm on the monthly chart. You can narrow this down to the weekly chart to see Wagwan. You can even break the ranges. Like each block is a range as well, so you can use that to help you as well. Um, Daily time frame, we can see where we're compressing. We're pretty much at the mid range for oil, so it can go both ways. But I'm leaning towards the longs. I'm leaning towards the longs because I don't see inflation. I see inflation coming in lower, but for that to happen, we need recession. People shouldn't be able to afford petrol for a Lamborghini. People shouldn't be able to afford petrol, or people shouldn't be able to. People shouldn't have money. We're going into a recession. So I'm bullish on oil. So look, I've said what I'm saying. But I'm not bullish on oil. Like, don't look at this line and think, yeah, NJ's calling for 130 on oil. This is a weekly chart, yeah? This is not a 5 minute chart. So when I say I'm bullish on oil, you got to zoom in all the way like this, okay? Your range lows here, your range highs here. Don't go long now and just say, yeah, 130. No, you'd go long. Target would be, I don't know, if you did go long, it doesn't look like a long right now. Let me get some water. I just mean if it was to push up, you'd have the smaller targets, and you've got the direction, right? The direction. So unfortunately our stupid Ethereum didn't fill. If this thing dumps from here, I swear to God, it doesn't matter if it does. Don't FOMO. Don't FOMO. Do not FOMO. Take care, everyone. Lots and lots of love. Thank you for 120 likes. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for keeping the stream over 100 viewers in one go. Thank you for upping the Telegram. You guys are really just... You're making me want to stream a lot. You're making me really want to stream, So keep the engagement going. Help the NJ show grow if you want to see more content. I'm not going to be going live tomorrow. I've got my trim tomorrow, and my barber is my big bro as well. Like, I see him the same way I see like my uncle, XO, etc. So I'm going to spend like a good couple of hours with him. Most of the day is going to go. The trading plans. Lots of love to Argentina. Lots of love to Portugal. Lots of love to Czech Republic. Lots of love to everybody that's tuned in. Take care, everyone. And I'll catch you on the next episode on Thursday. Yeah, not tomorrow, Thursday.